put the link on my page too. So.
Yep, we're live now. Let's see. Hello, everybody. Let's see if anybody's here yet.
Sideways. There we go. All right, let's go to the video. Let's mute it.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to do that too.
There, we're muted.
Mute.
Let me get link, copy, go to Facebook.
One watching now. Oh, what's up, Heartburger? Now we're going to be talking about, I guess, just movies that we've been watching recently, because I was trying to think of something, and usually that's something I can always talk about.
Yeah.
Let's see. I got to put it in my Letterboxd, because I kind of forget, because I watch a lot, so I kind of need to look at my Letterboxd list. Oh.
Ready? Click that. Boom.
When added. All right. So let's see. So this week, I guess I've only seen 3 movies this week. I watched. First off, I watched Billy Madison. Have you seen that?
So many times it's not funny.
I
love that movie.
I watched it and I liked it all right. I didn't love it, but I liked it all right. I've only seen it this one time though. I never grew up with that one.
I think my favorite Sandler one, it's got to be Wedding Singer.
Wedding Singer I like, but Uncut Gems is really, really good.
I haven't seen that one yet. I'm just thinking about his earlier, goofier stuff. It's got to be Wedding Singer and then probably Waterboy. Let's see what I've watched this week. I tried to watch 3 from Hell last night and cut it off.
How far did you get?
I got up to baby's parole hearing.
Oh, and that was the end for you?
And then the next scene where it's the two of them just sitting there talking about the plan, and then I just got so bored with it, I just cut it off.
Oh, man.
God,
I actually enjoyed it. I don't know. I just thought I had fun with it, I guess. But like
I think I may be in the minority because I think I like House of a Thousand Corpses better than either of the other ones.
Well, for me, I liked it the least. From what I remember, I need to rewatch the other 2, but I think
it's just
the least.
I think it's just me. I like House of a Thousand Corpses because I like Rainn Wilson, and I actually thought what's his face, the guy that does all the Talking Dead and although that guy, whatever that guy's name is.
I don't ever watch Talking Dead. Is it are you talking about like one of the members of the Firefly?
No, it's the guy that has the talk show after The Walking Dead, and he had the talk show after Breaking Bad, and I don't know what his name is.
Let me see.
Look it up.
Yeah, I'm looking it up. Talking Dead.
But it was him and Rainn Wilson were the 2 guys.
Chris Hardwick?
Chris Hardwick,
oh,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I've never watched The Talking Dead. I barely watched The Walking Dead, honestly.
What else did I watch this week? I watched Friday night. I watched the original My Bloody Valentine.
Oh, nice. Oh, me too. Okay, so that's one I watched too, and I watched it on the Scream Factory edition, which was really awesome.
And I just streamed it because it's on Shudder, and then I was going to watch Valentine, and I just got tired and went to sleep. So I did watch My Bloody Valentine. Earlier this week, I watched Friday the 13th Part 4, 5, and 6.
Oh, nice.
And the other Thursday night, I watched the original Halloween with the intent of watching Halloween and Halloween 2018, but I watched the first one and fell asleep after that. So,
did Derek make you rewatch it because he was saying how overrated it was in his video?
What?
Halloween?
No, no. I'm just getting psyched up for the new. So I'm probably gonna watch all of those this year and do reviews of them and get psyched up for it.
Nice.
Yeah, I did not like Devil's Rejects at all. I did not like that movie at all.
Again, I haven't seen
And
those in a
I'm
while.
not saying I'm not saying that I really liked House of a Thousand Corpses very much either, but I liked it better than Devil's Rejects. And what I saw, I liked Devil's Rejects better than I liked Three from Hell. So to me, they're getting worse. But that's just probably me.
Yeah, for me, I like them better. I don't know why. It's cool how we think differently about it, though. I kind of
I did. After I went back and watched Lords of Salem, I'll probably say that's his best movie, though.
I actually agree. I like Lords of Salem a lot.
Yeah, I think that's probably his best one. That one's actually that's rewatchable. There you go. Some of his movies are watchable, and I never want to see him again. I think Lord of Salem is probably rewatchable.
I think it's the most subdued one, if that makes sense, because a lot of people don't really like his dialogue, and I feel like that one's one of the least like over the top, if that makes sense.
Well, and plus his wife is not acting like she's totally unhinged either.
Yeah, I don't like way different.
I don't like her character in the Firefly. I just don't like her.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, I can understand that because she's kind of like just ridiculously over the top. I like her, but I can see why people don't. It's definitely one of those cases.
And I guess since we're getting controversial, and Heartbreaker will probably jump all over me, I have grown to like his Halloween movies. When they first came out, I hated his Halloween movie. I didn't like the backstory. I didn't like anything about it. And then when I got the theatrical cut and it took the rape scene out and actually added the extended escape scene with the kills, it's actually not as bad as I want to say it is.
Mm-hmm. No, I've grown to like those more
too. That is one that has started to grow on me. And I still don't like the backstory, but I understand what he was trying to do. And I'm one of those people that I know there's a couple of us. There's something about Halloween too that I just like. It's so crazy and so out there that if it wasn't called Halloween, if it was a standalone horror movie and that character wasn't supposed to be Michael Myers, I think people would actually like it. Because it's just weird. Something about it though I like.
Yeah. I've definitely grown to like those too, because whenever I watched them for the first time, I didn't really understand, I didn't really like them that much either. But I've really grown to appreciate the fact that whether you like or don't like his movies, his Halloween movies, he does do like one of the most ambitious horror remakes. Because
I'll give him credit. He tries.
Yeah. It's definitely different than it's not like something like Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street where it's kind of just the same movie again as the other ones, which is fine. But I appreciate that fact, even though some people don't like his movies or his Halloween ones.
I like his vision. I like his filmmaking style. I just don't think he's a very good writer. And it's more than just the dialogue. The dialogue is just one of those things. But his movies look really, really good. He's got a very unique vision and a very unique way he makes his movies. Yes. But I just don't think his writing. He needs to get somebody to come in and rewrite his movies and make them a little more cohesive. And if it wasn't for that, I mean, I think if he would lighten the reins up and give somebody else some creative control, that he might actually have a brilliant movie inside of him at some point. Because he's definitely got an eye. He's definitely got the art factor and the filmmaking part of it down. It's just his writing is just lacking in certain points. And he just needs to make a movie without his wife. She just, every time I see her, she annoys me.
Yeah. I don't
know who annoys me worse, her or Jennifer Tilly.
Oh man, I like Jennifer Tilly.
Oh gosh.
But you like Meg Tilly though, at least, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I watched Friday the 13th, 4, 5, and 6, the Tommy Jarvis trilogy this week. I did Halloween. I did Event Horizon. I tried to watch 3 from Hell. I did My Bloody Valentine. I did Halloween. What else? I watched a bunch of stuff on Tubi because I mean I've got time to watch stuff, so I watch so many things on Tubi and Shudder that I can't even remember all of them now. They must not have been very. They must not have been very good because they're not sticking out in my brain.
Yeah. Well, I watched Return of the Fly as well, and I never saw that before. Have you seen that?
Yeah. It's been years. It's been years.
I thought it was okay. It wasn't like as good as the first Fly. Like it's only the second one in the original Fly stuff. And I still need to see Curse of the Fly, which is the next one.
I don't think I've seen that one. I've seen the original. I've seen the sequel. I've seen the remake and the sequel to the remake, but I don't think I've seen that third one.
Okay. And then I also watched in the theaters. I saw Sonic the Hedgehog and Fantasy Island, and those
I'm hearing Sonic the Hedgehog is a lot better than people were thinking it was going to be.
It is, yeah, it's really fun.
It's just fun. It's just fun.
It's a really fun time, and it does a good job of, even though it's like a simple like story like that. Those kind of movies are. It's entertaining, and I did like it a lot. I actually thought it was really fun, and the guy who voices Sonic is really good.
And I'm hearing Fantasy Island is terrible.
Oh yeah, it's really bad. I never really watched the show, and I mean I've heard of it, but I've never really watched the show. But the movie,
I grew up watching it.
The movie is just so insane.
The show was cheesy. The show was cheesy and corny too, so it won't like the show was some serious show. It was a goofy show where they would get actors and actresses from other TV shows and movies just to show up. It was kind of like the Love Boat.
Oh, okay.
This week we have Buddy Ebsen and Dinah Shore. I mean, just that kind of stuff.
Oh, cool.
And so it was never meant to be taken very seriously to start with. So.
Mm-hmm.
And I also heard someone say that the trailers and the marketing tried to play it like a horror movie, and it's really not.
It has a problem being like kind of a horror movie and then kind of just not a horror movie. Like it's really weird. I don't understand. They made it look like a horror movie, and part of it is, and then part of it is just not a horror movie at all. Like it's a really weird tonal mix. Like it's very odd. And I won't spoil it, but like the last act, there's like a stupid twist where I just did not understand how this even. It doesn't make any sense. Like I sat there really annoyed about it. But it's one of those movies that's watchable though. I could watch it again even though it's really bad. Like it's entertainingly bad. Kind of like Black Christmas 2019. I can watch that again because it's so bad that it's entertaining. That's
one that when it comes out on the streaming services, I'll definitely watch it.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I don't know
that I would buy it.
I'm gonna get it because I want to hear their commentary on how they made the movie, because there's gonna be a commentary with the Blu-ray.
I actually had a friend of mine he's a friend from another thing. He sent me the trailer from the movie Tusk.
Oh yeah,
Kevin Smith. He's like, you need to watch this and review it. I'm like, I've actually seen that movie. That movie's bizarre. Have you seen it?
Oh yeah, the Tusk is really weird.
Easy. It's really, 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 really crazy.
That's one of the weirdest Kevin Smith movies, and I knew what happened before I saw the movie, but it still was jarring watching it. Like it was just so wacky, but also it was so disturbing because of how weird it is of a guy who can turn into a walrus, literally.
Yeah, Kevin Smith is one of those guys because have you seen Red State?
That's one of the ones I haven't seen. I think I've only seen.
That's a crazy. I got that one on DVD. I got it for like $1. So I think I got it from when Blockbuster was going out of business. I got it for $1, and that's a bizarre movie too.
That one I need to see it. I think I haven't seen that one.
I don't know that I would call it a horror movie, but it is kind of it's about this it's like this apocalyptic cult.
Mm-hmm.
And they're trying it's like an apocalyptic religious cult trying to destroy all these infidels. So they set up these traps to try to lure gays and drug addicts, and then they get them there and they kill them because they're wicked and they're doing God's work. So it plays straight almost to the very end, and in the very end it takes a really weird supernatural twist, and you're like, I didn't see that coming. I mean, it takes a weird twist at the end of it.
Oh, that's weird.
And
It does that.
but when I watched Tusk, I kept seeing Kevin Smith horror movie Tusk, Justin Long. I'm like, oh, let me sit down and watch it. And then at the end of Tusk, I was sitting there scratching my head, going, "What in the world was that?" That was one of the most bizarre movies I've ever seen in my life.
Have you seen Yoga Hosers? Because that's like connected to that, but it's really bad.
I keep seeing that pop up and have yet to watch it.
Yeah, I didn't like that one at all. Do you know anything about it?
Nothing about it at all, other than I seen the title.
It's like Kevin Smith's daughter and her friend, and they like, I don't remember exactly what they do, but there's like little sausage Nazis, like that are like guys that are the size of an actual sausage, and they run around and like it's really weird and it's really bad CGI.
Yeah, that doesn't sound.
It's pretty bad.
What else did I watch? I watched something else. I've been watching a lot of documentaries too.
Oh, Big D Orphan is awesome.
Yeah, I just told him that Orphan is incredible.
I really like that one a lot.
I think that made my top 5 twist endings too.
Oh yeah.
And you know what? And you know what's crazy? There was a news story about a year or so ago where that actually happened. This couple adopted this kid from overseas somewhere, and then when they got her over here, they found out she was a grown woman. So I mean, it actually happened in real life.
Ugh, that's really.
Let me look at couple adopts one. Let me look that up and find out, because when it happened, I'm like, well, that can't be real. Couple adopts grown woman.
I think I already told me about that a while back. That's crazy that really happened.
It was a Florida couple, and they adopted this orphan from the Ukraine that turned out she was a grown woman masquerading as a kid. They thought she was a 6-year-old, and she was, oh geez, I forgot how old she was. She was 33.
Oh my gosh.
Masquerading as a 6-year-old. Oh, it was bizarre.
Well, I can't believe that's a real thing. That's insane.
Yeah, they were on Dr. Phil and a bunch of different TV shows. But yeah, man, that was crazy.
Oh, man.
Crazy. Yeah, the big thing about Fantasy Island when it was on television, because that was late 70s, maybe early 80s, but it had Ricardo Montalban.
Yep.
Was the guy that was that ran Fantasy Island. And then you had the Hervé, I can't say his last name, the short guy. The whole thing, every time it started out, he would de plane, and that was the whole big thing. And they would stand outside, and the plane would land, and then you'd see all these celebrities get off the plane, and they were there to. And like I said, it was always celebrities from TV shows and movies, and then they would show up every week, and you'd have new stories, and sometimes it would get supernatural and kind of weird. So
that's what the movie does.
I thought it was a good premise for the movie. Depending on how they executed it.
Yeah, I didn't really think they executed it good, but I do like the idea of doing like a movie based on that, because it sounds pretty similar, like premise wise. But it's just one of those movies that does a lot of stupid jump scares. What's up, Dino? Like really dumb jump scares, and it just was really, really annoying. And again, like I said, it's partially horror, but then it's partially not. Like it tries to be like whimsical and like I don't know. And maybe the show was like that. Was the show kind of whimsical and like magical?
It was weird because every week you got a whole new set of celebrities and you had whole new stories. And sometimes they were lighthearted and fun. Sometimes they were kind of sad. Somebody had died and they wanted to. And sometimes they would get weird. So, I mean, it was a really mixed bag. Sometimes it was kind of lighthearted and goofy. Sometimes it was kind of nostalgic and sentimental. And then sometimes it was just bizarre. So it was a little bit of all of it. So, I mean, the premise was definitely open where it could go straight up horror or science fiction or comedy and kind of do any of it. So
that's funny you said all those kind of stories, because the movie has all those. Like somebody dies and like and they want to bring somebody back and stuff like that. Like it sounded like all those different things you just said that actually happened in the movie.
It sounds like it's probably being pretty true to the TV show. And
That's good.
some of the people who aren't liking it are probably not old enough to have actually seen the TV show.
Yeah, I definitely haven't, but I just didn't like it because the movie was so stupid. Like it just a lot of stuff doesn't make any sense. At
No,
least to me.
the TV show was pretty stupid too.
Oh,
Maybe I don't know if there's anywhere you can watch Fantasy Island. I mean, if you know anything about the Love Boat, it was the same along the same lines as the Love Boat. It was kind of cheesy, bad TV acting and writing. So I mean, we're not talking any kind of Emmys or Golden Globes or anything like that. It was always a pretty bad TV show.
I
It
actually
was
haven't
just
seen the
entertaining.
Love Boat.
Yeah, and both of those shows were bad TV shows, but they were fun to watch. I mean,
Okay, well, Dino says the new movie has the name only. The old show was a completely
okay.
different thing. Okay, that makes sense because, like I said, I haven't ever watched the old show. The only reason I know about the Love Boat is because Jamie Lee Curtis said she was on it, like on an episode, I think, with her mom.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, because I think
Every week on both of those shows, every week it was a new set of famous people.
because I think after she did like those first 6 horror movies, or maybe like after the first Halloween, she didn't get anything, so like she went on the Love Boat with her mom, which is pretty funny.
I actually watched John Carpenter's Fog about 3 times over the last 2 weeks. For some reason, I just got it in my mind. I wanted to keep watching that movie. I watched it for a bunch. The original Fantasy Island was on from 1977 to 1904.
Oh dang!
Yeah, Ricardo Montalban was Mr. Rourke, and Hervé Villechaize was Tattoo. I'm reading. It started out as 2 made-for-TV films, and then they developed it into a series.
Wait, which one are you talking about?
I'm reading about Fantasy Island.
Fantasy Island. Okay.
And the way it would start is they would show the airplane on the way, and Mr. Rourke would get everybody and explain who their guests were going to be that week and kind of give the backstory.
Oh, okay. That's
He
kind
would
of
say so and so is coming, and it was always very brief. You never knew exactly, so there was always an element of mystery or what was going to happen. And then
they did that in the movie too.
Then they would get there, and he would welcome them, and then everybody would kind of go off in their little stories, and there was always more than one story going on at the time, and it was suggested. I don't think that it ever came out, but like I said, it ran from when I was 7 to 14. So I mean, I'm pretty sure I wasn't watching it the whole time. But the idea was that he was immortal. He wasn't human. He was like a god or something and had these powers. And if I'm not mistaken, there were actually stories where there were people that had been dead from hundreds and hundreds of years that returned that he knew. Like I want to say he knew Helen of Troy and Cleopatra, and so the idea was he was immortal. He was like a god, or he was an immortal that lived.
Oh wow!
Aphrodite. They would put like fictional mythological characters would show up. The devil was. I think Roddy McDowell played the devil on the episode of Fantasy Island. So it had a supernatural element. It wasn't straight horror. It was more fantasy. But it incorporated, and it was just a weird, bizarre show. So,
yeah, okay, yeah, we're getting 3 Blumhouse movies in the next couple weeks. We got this week, and then we get, I think, Invisible Man comes out next week, I believe, and then there's another movie that comes out. I think Jason Blum posted it on his Twitter. Like he's got 3 different Blumhouse movies coming out every week for the next like 3 weeks, which is kind of crazy. But Jason Blum, though, he's a really cool, like, even if there's some movies I like or don't like that he makes, or that they make, like he does a cool like business model where it's like you do $5 million and that's it, and then they make their budget like immediately back. Let me see.
There was another thing about Fantasy Island. The fantasies would always take a turn and go wrong. And for the most part, Mr. Rourke could not intervene once they were started. He couldn't step in and stop them.
Oh yeah, and he did that in the movie.
But there were a couple of times where they broke that character, because there was one time a girl came in and she wanted to go back in time and research Jack the Ripper.
Oh.
And she actually got caught up with Jack the Ripper, and Jack the Ripper was going to kill her, and Mr. Rourke intervened and stopped it. So he would break the rules sometimes. But it wasn't played serious horror or serious fantasy. It was always kind of goofy. It wasn't dark and twisted. I mean, even when the topics were kind of odd and stuff, it was always kind of played for laughs. Even when the devil was up there, it was still kind of played for laughs. So,
okay. Well, this movie was kind of like really serious with the scary stuff, but it was kind of unintentionally funny because it has a lot of dumb jump scares in it.
That sounds, like I said, I haven't seen Fantasy Island in I don't know how long, but I mean, it sounds like they were attempting to recreate that, but like I said, it's been so long since I've seen it. But there was a lot of supernatural stuff in it, and then it was just a lot of goofy stuff in it too. But I can't remember very many. I remember the one about Jack the Ripper, and I remember the one with the devil was up there. But other than that, I can't remember a whole lot of it. I mean, I knew Cleopatra. He knew Cleopatra and Helen of Troy, and I think there was one with a mermaid and one with a witch. I don't remember.
That sounds cool though. Like, it sounds like a really cool series.
And what was funny is it came on right after the Love Boat. So you got the Love Boat, then you got Fantasy Island.
Dang.
Oh, I just looked it up. They did a revival in 1998 with Malcolm McDowell playing Mr. Rourke.
Really? Oh, cool.
Yeah. It didn't last, though. It didn't last. Barry Sonnenfeld directed it, who did the Addams Family movies, and it was more of I don't remember that at all. And it was more of a dark comedy, dark humor, but I don't remember that at all. That 98, only 13 episodes. I'm going to have to go look that up because that sounds
13 episodes? It might not have. Did it go longer than a season?
It only went one season. And it says Malcolm McDowell was Mr. Rourke, and instead of having the fantasy kind of cheesy, it was dark humor. Supernatural dark humor. I'm about to look that. I don't even remember that. I don't remember anything about that at all. Huh. I don't remember much about the original because, like I said, it premiered when I was 7 and went off the air when I was 14.
Oh, so it was done for 7 years? Like they did.
Well, it started out in 77 with 2 TV movies, and then the first full season was in 78. So I would have been 7 going on 8. And then it went off the air in May of 84, which was right before I turned 14. Same year, Friday the 13th, the final chapter came out, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Yeah, I'll watch that one when it hits the streaming stuff. But Small Wonder, I forgot about that too. Robot Kid.
So let me ask you this, because I want to give Derek some crap. Did you watch his top 5 overrated and underrated horror movies?
I wasn't able to. I had so much stuff going on yesterday that I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. Okay.
It was really funny because he kept trying to trigger me because he kept saying like, this is going to trigger Corey. This is going to trigger Corey because he put Halloween 1978 as overrated. And I know you don't like The Shining. He put The Shining as overrated. And Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, he put as overrated. And I was sitting there like,
I would agree. I think The Shining is probably overrated.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Depending on how you define that term, all 3 of them have aspects of them where they are overrated, I think.
Mm-hmm.
but not to the point that they're bad movies that get more love. None of those three movies are bad movies, and I don't even like The Shining, but I admit it's a great movie. It's a great film.
Yeah.
I might, to me, overrated is a film that gets hyped that shouldn't get hyped. To me, Terrifier is overrated.
Oh, that's a cool way of saying it. Yeah.
I wouldn't call The Shining overrated. Even somebody who don't particularly like it, like myself, and I have valid reasons why I don't like it, I can watch it because it's just a brilliantly filmed movie and it's beautiful to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to buy the 4K transfer, and it's not really a film that I like that much, but I'll buy it just because it looks great. It's an incredibly made movie. So I don't know that I would even call it overrated. Well, Terrifier is overrated because there's absolutely nothing about it. It's just nothing. Except gore. I mean, if you want gore, but other than that, there's no story. There's nothing. That, to me, that's overrated.
Yeah, there isn't much there.
To me, the Devil's Rejects is overrated.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call Halloween overrated. I wouldn't call Texas Chainsaw overrated either.
I'm trying to remember what else he put on. He's not on the live.
I can understand why people didn't care for him and think that they're not as good as other people say, but I don't know that I would call them overrated.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's he usually puts overrated stuff when it's not really doesn't have as much gore. Even though he loves those movies, but he just said they're more because they don't have much gore.
You don't remember what the other two were?
I'm trying to remember. It wasn't Exorcist because I thought of Exorcist. Scream 4. Scream 4 was his number one.
It's not overrated. Nobody really defends that movie.
I like it okay, but I don't love it.
Yeah, I like it, but when you're talking about The Shining, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Halloween, Scream 4 doesn't even fit in the conversation with any of those three movies. Nobody's going to say Scream 4 is a cinematic masterpiece.
Yep.
I've heard people say that The Shining is one of the best movies ever made. Nobody's going to say that about Scream 4. It's not overrated.
Well, his reason was because he doesn't like the killers. Like he said, that's why it was overrated.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's over. I've never heard anybody say that's the best movie in the franchise. If that was the case, then I would say it's overrated.
Yeah.
What were his underrated ones?
I actually didn't watch that part. I only saw the overrated.
I'll have to watch it tonight when I go home and just give him crap tomorrow.
Yeah, and I just said, man, because he kept mentioning me because he knew that I'd be annoyed, and I was. But in a joking way, that I was annoyed.
I don't know what I would pick if top 5 overrated horror movies. Well, Terrifier would be number 1 probably. Probably The Devil's Rejects would be number 1 because I keep hearing people say that is a masterpiece, and I just don't see it. I understand why people like it, but that is not a masterpiece. So Devil's Rejects is probably my number 1 overrated. It follows. Oh, damn, that might be my. I don't get that one at all. This is definitely in my top 5 because I don't get that movie at all.
You know what movie I think is overrated is The Last House on the Left, the original.
Oh yeah, it's not a very good movie.
Yeah,
it's. I guess it was important, but it's not a good movie. Not at all.
I usually don't like given to expectations or people hyping stuff up, but whenever people kept hyping that one up, I watched it and thought, oh, it wasn't as good as I thought it would be, or as brutal as I thought it would be. I expected it to be really disturbing, and it wasn't really. It was kind of cheesy. At least that's.
You got to stop and think when it was made too. 70
yeah,
what?
In 70s.
73. Oh, Silence of the Lambs. Silence of the Lambs is one of those for me that it's a nostalgic thing. In fact, while we're at it, I got my.
That's so cool.
I love that. I love that one. That's the only one of these that I own right now. Although my son just bought me the Kiss ones. Oh, Silence of the Lambs. It's such a important movie to me because I watched it on my honeymoon.
Yeah,
the night my wife and I got married, it had just, I mean, it had been in the theater and had won an Academy Award, and it had just gone to like pay-per-view, because this is 1991. It had gone to pay-per-view, and the night we got married, we were staying in South Carolina and had to come back home for a wedding the next day, so we really didn't start our honeymoon till the next day. So we drove to South Carolina, spent the night in the hotel, and saw that this movie was on pay-per-view. So I literally, the night I got married, I watched Silence of the Lambs.
That's pretty cool.
And now every year on my anniversary, I watch it again.
It's a great
and
one to watch.
It's funny because on our 10-year anniversary, we went out and got a hotel room and got somebody to watch the kids for our 10-year anniversary. And when we were in the hotel room that night, Hannibal was on pay-per-view. So we watched that on our 10-year anniversary. So.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, I love Red Dragon now. I love Red Dragon.
Red Dragon's pretty awesome. Do you like Manhunter?
I actually love Manhunter.
Manhunter is great too. I haven't seen that in years though. I definitely need to review those on my channel. I found a really cool VHS copy of Manhunter that I had to buy. Mm-hmm.
And I like that one because number one, it's what's his name? Michael Mann, is that his name?
Yeah, Michael. Yeah,
Michael Mann directed it, and William Peterson plays the Ed Norton character in that movie.
Yep.
And you can see that that's the role that got him. Was it Grissom on CSI? Was that what his name was? Grissom?
I'm not sure.
You can see because that character, he plays Ed Norton's character in that movie, and it's basically the character he played for all those years on CSI. And then you got the weird guy playing Hannibal Lecter, whose name I don't remember, that played him in that movie.
I don't remember his name either.
He was kind of forgettable, but really that movie's not about Hannibal Lecter anyway. It's about the cop and about the other killer. Hannibal Lecter's just he's kind of a secondary character.
Yeah,
William Peterson was Will Graham, and he is absolutely incredible. And Tom Noonan, that's who played Francis Dollarhide.
Did you watch the TV show?
Dennis Farina was in it. Brian Cox is the one that played Hannibal Lecter in that one.
Oh. Did you watch the TV show Hannibal? I've seen the first season. It's awesome.
I watched the first season when because that was that an HBO show?
I think maybe. I can't remember.
I have Hulu. And like the first season was available on Hulu, so I watched that. And then the Hannibal Rising movie I thought was okay, but the book was better. And I'll go ahead and say this because I've read all of the Thomas Harris books. The books are still better than the movies. Even Silence of the Lambs, the book is actually better than the movie is in all the cases.
Oh, that's funny. Brian Cox played Hannibal, but he was also an X-Men 2 striker.
Yep. Manhunter reminded me of a Miami Vice episode. That's because it pretty much was. It was Miami Vice meets CSI.
Nice.
I like the scene. I'm getting them mixed up now. Was it Hannibal or was it Manhunter? I mean, was it Hannibal or was it Red Dragon where they set oh crap. I just lost his name.
Set Philip Seymour Hoffman on fire?
Yeah, when he set Philip Seymour Hoffman on fire.
Red Dragon.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Man, Hannibal's the one where he makes Ray Liotta eat his own brain, right?
Oh yeah.
And you got the deformed guy with the pigs and stuff. Yeah, that was a weird one. Man, Hannibal's a weird one. Those are the only things I remember about the movie. I remember the villain and I remember the ending with like him eating his brain, but that's all I remember. I don't remember much from the movie at all. And the fact that Clarice was played by I can't think of it.
Julianne Moore.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was okay, but like it's you could tell it's not Jodie Foster.
No, it's not Jodie Foster.
So it's just weird that like it's somebody else.
But it wasn't okay. But Manhunter, and I guess it's weird because I had seen Manhunter, and then when Silence of the Lamb came out, for some reason it had been so long, I never made the connection between those two movies. I wasn't even thinking that it was the same characters. And then when they redid it and put out Red Dragon, it's like it made me go back and watch Manhunter again after years and realize Manhunter is a really, really good movie.
Yeah, that one I really need to watch again because I haven't seen it in years.
Yeah, and if I were to watch it, I would have to watch it on VHS because I don't own it on DVD.
Ooh, I've got it on VHS too.
I will watch it on VHS if I have to.
No, yeah, I've got it on VHS.
What's that?
I said I've got it on VHS too.
I guess after watching The Fog twice this past week, that may have jumped up. That may have jumped
Treasures one.
I think The Fog may have jumped up near the top of my list of John Carpenter movies now that I've watched it again. And then I turned around and watched it back to back, and it's like, man, I forgot how good that movie was. That's the same one I have.
Okay, yeah.
That's the exact same one I have.
Video Treasures one. And then I also have both the VHS of these.
Actually, I take that back. Mine is in a clamshell case.
Oh. And I've got both of these on VHS too.
I think mine may have been a video rental. I'm looking to see. That looks like the same artwork, but mine was just in a clamshell. It's the same artwork, but yeah, I'm looking at all the different VHS versions, and that's the same cover, but mine's just. It's not a cut box. It's just in a clamshell.
Oh.
Anyways, yeah.
Oh, good thing bringing up Fear, Big D. Fear's a good one.
Which one?
Fear with Mark Wahlberg and Reese Witherspoon.
Oh, dude, I haven't seen that, and oh, geez, that's a movie I always forget about. I know I've seen it. That's the one where he's the psychotic boyfriend, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and he was pretty creepy in that one.
That would have been that would have been mid-90s.
Yeah,
so that's the year my oldest son was born. Who else is William Peterson's in that, right? Is he the dad?
Yeah, that's what Big D said. He was also
and Alyssa Milano is in it. Yeah. I need to watch that again. I cannot. I haven't seen that movie, and geez, I don't know when the last. Yeah, William Peterson was the dad. Alyssa Milano was in it. Marky Mark Wahlberg. That had to have been one of his first film roles. 96.
Yeah. It was before Boogie Nights. I think Boogie Nights was 97.
He was in a movie called Music for the People in 91, which I've never heard. Oh no, those are albums. Hold on, let's see. His first movie was in Renaissance Man.
Renaissance Man.
Danny DeVito, Gregory Hines, Cliff. I've never heard it. I don't know that I've ever seen that.
I've never heard of that one.
It's a Danny DeVito teaches basically literacy classes at an army base. Okay. I've got Kadeem Hardison is in it. Ed Begley Jr. Mark Wahlberg plays just a private, so it wasn't like a starring role. He was just a. So yeah, Fear was his first real role.
Nice. Yeah, no, that one's pretty good.
And then Boogie Nights, I guess, was his next one.
Because I was thinking that was like his first thing, but I forgot that Fear came out before that.
Oh hell, he was in. Yeah, let's see. He was in Fear in '96. Boogie Nights was '97. And then he started hitting big. He was in Three Kings. He was in Perfect Storm, Planet of the Apes, Rockstar, Italian Job. I mean, he was putting out a couple big movies. He was putting out a couple of movies every year there for a while.
Dang. I actually haven't seen that, Perfect Storm.
One that I really liked him in was The Departed.
Oh, yeah, he's great in that one.
Him and Leonardo DiCaprio and Matt Damon and Jack Nicholson, and that's a good movie. Did you see The Lovely Bones? Have you ever seen that one?
Yeah, he's good in that one too.
I had read the book, and I was wondering how in the world they were going to make that into a movie, and then Peter Jackson directed it. And then when I finally saw it, it was like, man, that's an incredible movie.
I really liked it a lot. I haven't read the book, but I just thought it was a really good movie.
Stanley, I think Stanley Tucci got nominated for an Academy Award for that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was a really, really, really good movie.
I like Tucci was in it.
Peter Jackson. I just like Peter Jackson too. So.
Oh, me too. I haven't seen Mortal Engines yet. Have you seen that? That came out this last year. I didn't get to see it.
Yeah. I have not. I'm thinking of something else.
Okay. Because I've seen most of his movies. I just haven't seen that, and I haven't seen that one drama he did. I forgot what it's called.
He's done a bunch of them.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what it was called.
He did one called Heavenly Creatures.
That's what it is. I haven't seen that, but I hear that one's really good.
I love The Frighteners is one of my favorite ones of his.
Oh yeah, Frighteners is fun. I really love Dead Alive.
Yep.
And
those original those early movies of his, the splatter phase ones.
Yeah.
Those are supposed to Bad Taste, Brain Dead, which is Meet the Feebles, and there was another one he did. Those are supposed to be getting re-released on 4K with a ton of stuff on it. And
I'm excited.
I keep waiting because I can remember a buddy of mine had rented Brain Dead. He had the uncut version.
Oh, nice.
There's a significant difference between Brain Dead and Dead Alive. Dead Alive is gross enough, but the uncut version of Brain Dead is so beyond anything I'd ever seen. We played it in my house, and one of the people there literally physically got sick and threw up watching it.
Oh, really? Wow. Well, I mean, I could see that.
When he went into the room with the lawnmower and it just started showing people's arms going to the lawnmower, she literally got sick to her stomach and threw up.
Oh, wow.
It was awesome.
I always crack up whenever there's that little zombie baby and like he has it in the little carriage and like he drop kicks it because like it starts attacking him and like everybody's looking at him like he's kicking a baby. And
if you think that movie's bizarre, have you seen Bad Taste?
Yeah, I've seen that one. That one's brilliant.
Bad Taste is even crazier. And I know you saw Meet the Feebles because you were talking about
it. Yeah, Meet the Feebles was interesting.
Interesting. That's definitely that was a crazy ass movie.
I'm surprised it had that much stuff in that, like whenever it came out.
I still don't know what I think about the movie.
Yeah, I don't know what to think about it.
Bad Taste is the first one of his I ever saw, and then I saw Brain Dead, and then saw Meet the Feebles, and then I think the next movie he did was Heavenly Creatures, which was like the serious movie.
Yeah, and I still need to see that. I hear it's really good.
What's interesting about Peter Jackson is the way he got caught up with New Line Cinema. Because, New Line are the ones that did the Lord of the Rings and all those movies like that and made them billions of dollars.
Yep.
But the way Peter Jackson got caught up in New Line Cinema was he wrote a treatment for Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Oh, I forgot about that.
They ended up not using it. But they were impressed with his writing. And then they actually brought him in. I think they brought him in to try to do a treatment for Jason versus Freddy. But at that point, he was already on the moving on other stuff. But it was because of a screenplay for a projected Nightmare on Elm Street 3 movie that he got caught up in New Line Cinema. And that's how Lord of the Rings got made. So that's pretty cool.
That is really cool. And it's really cool that like he only did like splatter horror and they had him try Lord of the Rings. I think that's really interesting because it was such a big gamble.
It was his idea to do Lord of the Rings. That was all him.
Okay. It was such a big gamble.
And then The Hobbit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And the people forget it was his effects company that created the technology to do all that stuff.
In Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah, just like it was they had to create ILM to do Star Wars.
Yep.
And then when they were doing Jurassic Park, they literally had to create the computers and technology to do it. And pretty much Wingnut created the technology that made stuff like Lord of the Rings.
Nice.
I mean, his company had to figure out, well, how are we going to do that? I get called Weta Workshop. They're huge. I mean, they do. Where is it at? I'm looking.
Weta.
I can't find it. I'll find it later.
Mm-hmm.
But now they've gone in and done other stuff. And Weta is the one that's supposed to be put all his original movies and giving us like really clean, nice 4K restorations.
I would like that because I've only seen the VHS quality of each one. I haven't ever seen them in like HD.
I want to say that they're the ones that did the Dark Crystal TV show on Netflix.
Oh, really? Sweet.
Yeah. I mean, they've been around forever. They were around in the 80s. They were the ones that did all the effects for Hercules with Kevin Sorbo. They were the ones that did all the stuff for Xena, in addition to do all of Peter Jackson's. So, I mean, they were doing TV stuff back in the 80s. I'm looking. They did something. There was one big thing they came. I mean, the Lord of the Rings thing was the big thing. And then King Kong. There's something else they did. I'm looking at their special effects filmography. They did all the stuff for Alita, Battle Angel.
Oh, Alita, I really want to see. I didn't get.
They did the stuff for Wandering Earth and Blade Runner 2049. I mean, they were working on like Thor Ragnarok, and I mean, so they work on everything now. They did Krampus. That was the one I was thinking of.
Oh, nice. Krampus.
Yeah, they've done so many. They worked on the original Hellboy, doing creature design and stuff.
Damn.
Peter Pan, Van Helsing, Hellboy, I, Robot, The Chronicles of Narnia.
Oh my gosh.
Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh, yes.
The Planet of the Apes movies, Daybreakers, Avatar. They worked on Avatar.
You're making me want to rewatch the Mad Max movies because I haven't watched those in a couple of years.
Mad Max Fury Road is a guilty pleasure. That was one that shouldn't be as good as it is, but it's so much fun. That's just a good, fun movie to watch.
It's incredible with like the action.
I didn't think I was going to like it at all, and I absolutely loved it.
It was like one of the biggest surprises like for a movie I've seen because you had the first three and then it just was gone and then they brought out this new one and it like blew everybody away. I think it's my favorite out of the four. What about you?
It's my favorite it's my second favorite behind Road Warrior.
Okay, because Road Warrior is really good too.
But Road Warrior also has nostalgia stuff because of when I originally saw it and stuff like that. I mean,
yep.
Road Warrior came out in 81, and I would have seen it on cable TV in 82, 83. So it just came out at the right time. Beyond Thunderdome was horrible. That was a terrible, terrible movie.
I don't remember it very well.
But Fury Road was incredible, man. I love Tom Hardy in it. I even like Charlize Theron in it. I mean,
yeah. Well, and it also feels like it's more her movie than his. Like she's more like important. Like he's kind of just there, like as a captive, pretty much, which I thought was hilarious.
I mean, I really like the original, but the second one kind of stepped up the game, and then the third one's like a big budget version, and it was just like it just didn't work as good. And plus, I mean, they were it was an MTV movie. I mean. They had Tina Turner in it because she was huge and she had the big scene in it. And it was a watered down Hollywood MTV version of Mad Max. And it just didn't.
I forgot that Tina Turner was in it. That shows how long since I've seen it.
Yep. And she sang the theme song. We don't need another hero.
Oh,
she was Anti-Entity.
Well, and then she did.
I mean, and it's not horrible. I can watch it, but it's not great. I mean, it's just another '80s weird movie.
How close to that was which James Bond is it that I'm thinking of? That she
View
sung.
to a Kill. View to a Kill. View to a Kill. The one with Christopher Walken in it.
Life.
Oh,
Why am I blanking?
Talking about Tina.
Yeah, Tina Turner.
I'm trying to think. In '85 was Beyond Thunderdome. I'm trying to think of what James Bond movie came out at that time.
Is it License to Kill? No.
Let's see. '85 would be A View to a Kill, and that's the one that had the Duran Duran song in it.
Didn't she sing once, like one of the James Bond songs? I'm trying to remember which one.
I'm looking to see. She could have.
She did GoldenEye. That's what it was.
She sang GoldenEye?
Yeah, I was trying to remember which one. It was okay.
That's like 10 years later. That's '95. That's 10 years later.
Yep. I was thinking it was.
Yeah, that's one of the. That's one of the Pierce Brosnan ones. Don't get me wrong. I like the Pierce Brosnan ones.
I do too.
I like the Timothy Dalton. I like all the James Bond. I just like James Bond. He's a cool guy.
Me too.
I even like the one that the guy played him only one time.
Is it George Lazenby?
George Lazenby. Yeah.
Lazenby. Yeah. Yeah. I like.
And if you want an interesting movie, there's a documentary about him that is absolutely fascinating. He basically conned his way into that job. He wasn't an actor. He wasn't really a model. He conned his way and BS'd his way in and getting to be James Bond, and then decided he didn't want to do it anymore.
That's
absolutely. It's the craziest story I've ever heard in my life. George Lazenby, I think that's his name.
So he conned his way into doing it, but then he didn't want to do it again.
Yeah. I mean, weird. he BS'd his way into getting the job of James Bond, and he was only in one movie. On Her Majesty's Secret Service. He was 29 years old.
Yeah. And then Sean Connery comes back for the next one, so it's kind of like it's wedged between John. And then
it's on Hulu. It's called Becoming Bond. It was on Hulu. It was really, really interesting.
Okay.
He played it one time and then refused to play it again because he wanted more money or something. I can't remember now, and then he was. I want to say he got into alcohol, gambling. I mean, he kind of got into some crazy stuff.
Oh, yeah. Didn't make some good choices, I guess.
I
was also going to say I watched, like I said, My Bloody Valentine and Valentine this week, so I thought those were fun on rewatch.
I was going to watch the remake, and then come to find out it's not streaming for free anymore, so I ended up not watching it.
I'm surprised you don't have it. I thought you had it.
The remake. No, I got the remake of Black Christmas.
Okay.
The remake of the problem I have with the remake of My Bloody Valentine is I don't like those crappy 3D effects in it.
Oh, you don't? Yeah.
Because there's some pretty cool kills and stuff in that movie, but the 3D effects and it's just so painfully CGI rendered stuff that it's just like, it just loses me. And I just wish they had not done it 3D and just made a straight movie, because other than that, it wouldn't have been bad.
Yeah.
But it's just the effects, just watching, especially if you're not watching in 3D, it is just so goofy.
I like both of them pretty equally, I think. I don't really like one more over the other. But definitely, if you get the chance, get that Scream Factory of the first one, because it has a lot of good gore that's added into it.
Well, that's what Derek was saying, that they did a really good job cleaning up the excise footage, because I've seen it all. They put it on a DVD release, but it was kind of grainy and dark, and he said they spent a lot of time cleaning it up where it looks as good as the rest of the movie. So
Yeah, it doesn't
yeah,
even.
I'll definitely have to see that.
It doesn't look any different than the other stuff, which is really cool. Like I thought it would look like Silent Night, Deadly Night, where you could obviously tell the difference, but you can't with this one, which is awesome.
I still want to see The Lighthouse. Man, I want to see that movie.
Oh, The Lighthouse is awesome.
Yeah, I really want to see that.
What else do you want to see recently, or have you been wanting to see recently?
There's nothing really that's come out in 2020 yet that it really makes me say I really need to go see it, with the exception of maybe I don't even know if that's 2020. 1917 came out last year, didn't it?
Yes. Oh yeah, that one.
So
it's definitely, you need to see that.
Yeah,
one.
19. There's still a bunch of stuff from 2019 that I still haven't seen Us yet.
Oh really? I thought you saw Us. I'm surprised.
I used to get a lot of stuff from the Red Box, but we closed our checking account, so I don't have a debit card anymore. And that's the only way you can get stuff from Red Box is to have a card. So there's still a ton of stuff. I still haven't seen Us, although I saw it on Blu-ray at Walmart for like $9, and I'm like, I almost bought it. At the time I didn't have it. I want to see Parasite.
Oh yeah.
I want to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Knives Out.
All those, yeah, you need to see. Those are all great. Knives Out comes out next month, I think, or this month on Blu-ray.
They're doing another Knives Out. I just read they're going to do a sequel to it.
Yes.
Some of the stuff I did see last year, The Irishman, I thought was really, really good, although it was a tad bit long.
Yeah.
Marriage Story was really, really good. That was one that I just watched because it was on Netflix. It ended up being really, really good.
That one was really good.
Somebody here at church just watched Ford versus Ferrari, so they're going to let me borrow that and watch that. That's supposed to be good.
That one's really, yeah.
The Lighthouse is near the top of my list. I still want to see Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. I want to see that.
This year, I really broke down and saw a lot of movies. I've seen all those.
And I need to watch Doctor Sleep just to say I watched it.
Yeah. Yep. You might enjoy Doctor Sleep. I'm not sure.
I thought the Lion King and the remake of Lion King was absolutely horrendous.
Yeah, I just thought it was utterly forgettable.
That's another one that I cut it off while I was watching it and haven't gone back and tried to watch it again because the voice acting is just so bad in it.
Yeah, the voice acting isn't that good.
I did, believe it or not, though, I did like their live action of Aladdin. I thought that was pretty good.
I like that one a lot.
It was unnecessary, but it was good.
Yeah. No, I agree on that. I didn't mind Dumbo either. Like,
I haven't watched that one yet. I mean, I've got Disney Plus, so I can watch all of them. I went back and watched Toy Story 4 again. God, that's an incredible movie.
It was my favorite movie of last year. It blew me away.
I think it was. I have to look at Letterboxd. It was in my top 5, but I don't think it was number 1. Number 1. You want to guess what my number 1 was last year?
I think I saw it was a Joker.
It was Joker. Yes.
Well, and I think Toy Story 4 was after that, wasn't it? Like on your ranking?
I think Toy Story 4 may have been number 2.
Okay.
Now that I'm thinking about it, Joker was number 1 because that movie just freaking blew me away. If you remember, for the majority of the year, Brightburn was number 1 for the majority of the year.
Oh yeah, and Brightburn was really, really awesome too. I keep forgetting
that came out at the first part of the year. So for almost an entire year, Brightburn was my favorite movie. Here we go. Let's see my lists. Let me pull up last year's. I watched 45 movies that came out. That's actually not true because I've seen some since then. I think I've watched 50 movies from last year now.
Let me see how many I've seen.
Because let's see. The internet is going so slow because I'm streaming, so it's taking a minute to pull up Letterboxd.
Oh dang, I saw 69. That's crazy.
When I updated this list a month ago, I had seen 45, but I'm pretty sure I've seen 4 more now because I saw Marriage Story, which would have made 46, and I watched something else. I've watched 2 or 3 that came. Aladdin and Lion King. So that's 3 more right there.
You
So I
want to
think
hear
I
my
saw.
You want to hear my top 5 from last year?
Yeah, go ahead while mine is loading.
Toy Story 4 was number 1. Then number 2 is Knives Out. Then Midsummer, and then Uncut Gems, and then The Lighthouse were my top 5.
Ah. I guess if this thing actually pulls up, I'll tell you what mine are. I know number 1 is Joker, and I'm pretty sure number 2 is Toy Story 4.
Yeah. I thought that's
Joker's
what it was
number
last
1.
time I looked.
Joker's number 1, Toy Story 4. Rise of Skywalker made it to number 3.
Okay.
I absolutely loved it. I went in it not expecting a thing, and I absolutely loved it.
Honestly, I was disappointed the first time, and I watched it again and loved it more. But like, I'm one of those Last Jedi fans, and I love that movie, and I was honestly just kind of disappointed, like it wasn't as for me as good, if that makes sense. But I still loved it after watching it again. Rise of Skywalker.
I don't think any of them are terrible movies.
No, I love them all.
Oh, geez.
I can watch any of the Star Wars.
My top 10 is probably going to piss some people off. So, Joker's number 1, Toy Story 4 is number 2, Rise of Skywalker is number 3, Brightburn is number 4, Endgame is number 5.
Nice.
It Chapter 2 is number 6. Midsummer is number 7. Child's Play is number 8.
Oh, cool.
The Fanatic is number 9. And Glass is number 10. The Fanatic is in my top 10 movies of last year.
That's awesome, because I didn't really see that in these top 10.
I actually bought it. I went out and bought it.
I bought it too, yeah. No, I enjoy it.
I love that, and I loved it. And then let's see what rounded out the top 15. So Glass was 10. Zombieland 2 was 11. Little Monsters 12. Spider-Man 13. Shazam 14. Pet Sematary 15. Dark Fate 17, 16, Crawl 17, John Wick 3, 18, Irishman 19, and then my top 20 is capped out by The Furies, which was absolutely incredible if you haven't seen it.
The Furies?
The Furies.
I need to look that up.
Oh, you need to see that one. That's a good one.
That
was one that my wife got me to watch that movie, which is really weird because she's not much of a horror fan. And she's like, I just saw this weird movie on Netflix that you need to watch. And you do. Is it Netflix or is it Hulu? It's on one of them. It's I don't know how to describe it. This woman wakes up and she's been kidnapped, and she finds other women that have kidnapped. They don't know where they are. They don't know what's happened to them, and they're being hunted by these masked men.
Okay.
And they've got to figure out where they are, what's going on, how they got there, and it's a crazy, crazy movie. I think it's an Australian movie.
Have you seen this came out a couple of years ago. Have you seen Revenge? Like it's like a French movie? Yeah.
Yep.
That one's awesome.
Very, very good movie. I'll tell you another one I really want to see right now is Color Out of Space.
Yeah, that hasn't been anywhere close to me yet.
No. I think it releases next week or the week after on Blu-ray. But yeah, I really want to. Yeah, if you haven't seen The Furies, you probably need to see. That's a good one.
I want to see Little Monsters too, because you told me about Little Monsters as well.
That movie's hilarious.
I want to see that one as well, and Lupita Nyong'o is in it, so that's pretty cool.
The Furies is playing on Hulu. It's on Hulu.
Okay.
And I think Little Monsters is too. Oh, it's so fun. It's a zombie movie. It's a romantic comedy. I mean, it's on Hulu too.
Oh, cool. Dino,
and then, like I said,
hilarious.
It's got my name ain't working. How do you say her name? Lupita Nyong'o.
Yeah,
she's incredible. Absolutely wonderful movie. I loved it.
You saw as many as I did. We're pretty close.
Yeah, I'm right at 50.
I said 69, so I was right at 70. But yeah, also because I've got Regal Unlimited too. That's why. Because I can spend like $20 a month and go anytime.
And I live so far away from the theater that it's just when I get moved down to North Carolina, we're going to be a lot closer to a place to go watch movies. So hopefully we'll see more.
Nice.
But the fact that I don't go to the movies and I saw 10 in the theater, which is unusual for me to see 10 movies in a year in the theater.
Yeah.
So I didn't do too bad. I saw 50 of the movies last year.
Nice.
Exception of 2 or 3, I saw all the ones I want. I really wanted to see Us, and I haven't seen that yet. But
Us is definitely worth it. Did you see John Wick 3? I want to see that.
I've got that. I bought that on 4K.
Because I've seen the first 2, and I didn't get a chance to see John Wick 3.
It's okay. I mean, it's not as good as the first 2, but it's fun. I liked it.
And I hear this one isn't that good, but have you seen Men in Black International?
No.
Yeah, I heard that one's not very good at all, but just gonna see it.
That's one I'll watch when it comes to streaming. I'm probably not going to pay to watch.
Mm-hmm. I
almost bought. I was at Walmart Saturday, and it was just straight DVD. It wasn't Blu-ray, but they had a 2-pack at Walmart with The Shining and Doctor Sleep for like $19 on DVD, and I'm like, really? I don't like buying plain DVDs anymore because I got a 4K player.
Yeah,
and I don't know that I'm gonna go out and buy it on 4K, but I at least want it on Blu-ray. So
doesn't 4K upscale DVD quality though? Like
yeah, but the DVD didn't have the director's cut on it. That's only on the Blu-ray.
Okay.
And I'm funny like that. If I'm gonna buy it, I want both versions of it. So, and I want the 4K version of The Shining just because I know it's gonna look great.
I've got the Doctor Sleep 4K, but it's weird. It's only got the director's cut on Blu-ray, and then the and then the 4K is the theatrical. But I don't have a 4K player. But I've been getting 4K just so whenever I get a player.
Yeah, that's what I did for a while. Hold on, I'm coming right back.
Okay.
There's somebody at the door. I don't know what's going on.
Man. So what have you guys been watching recently? I want to know.
That's crazy. This place is either haunted or somebody's messing with me. I'm here in my office. I'm here in my office at the church, and there's nobody else here, and all the lights are out. So the only light is in this room. And I thought I heard something, but I guess I didn't.
I think it's John Kyle because he asked if you were alone in the church a while ago.
Yes, I'm alone in the church, all by myself.
Well, that's a good ranking, Big D.
In-game. That's not a bad top 5, Big D.
Yeah, I like it. That's cool. I've got, I guess in my top 10, I've got In-Game and Joker, and I think Shazam is on there too. In my top 5. Have you seen Shazam, Lee?
It's in my top 15.
Nice. I really like Shazam a lot. That one is really awesome.
In fact, I want to say I've got Shazam in my top 15. Let's see. I'm pretty sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. Yeah, it's number 14.
Let me see where I ranked it at. Because I really loved it.
I can tell you what the least favorite movie I watched last year was.
What was that?
I don't know if you pronounce it EO or IO. It's like this weird science fiction movie where they're going to the moon of Jupiter, and it's so bad I can't remember anything about it.
Oh, Shazam is my number 17.
I don't remember who's in it. I don't remember what it's on Netflix, and I don't remember anything about it. It came out right about it came out right about a year ago, and I watched it right when it came on Netflix, and now I don't remember anything about it other than it was boring, and the earth has become poisonous, so they've left the planet and they're heading to go live off. I don't remember anything about it. So I don't even know if it was a bad movie, but if it's so boring, I can't remember anything about it. I don't remember who's in it. I don't remember anything about that movie. So that's my least favorite. And then this movie called Wine Country was my next least favorite. It's one of them Amy Poehler chick films.
I never heard of that one.
It's like a female version of The Hangover.
Oh, okay.
So that was my second least favorite, and then Velvet Buzzsaw, which that's an overrated movie. Everybody talked about how great that movie was, and I didn't get that one at all.
I didn't really get that either. Yeah, I watched the movie and I was like, "What?"
So that tells you
it had some cool gore and imagery, but it wasn't like.
But it didn't make sense. It was dumb.
Yeah.
So the fact that there are 3 movies that I liked less than Black Christmas ought to say something. Because then Black Christmas would be next.
Oh, mine.
But you know what? Okay, I'll go ahead and say it, and this might get me in trouble with people.
What?
It was not as bad as everybody says it was.
It's because it's called Black Christmas that people really despise it.
I mean, it was stupid.
Yeah, it was really stupid.
It was obviously trying to play off the name of the movie, and it was just dumb. But to me, I think it was meant to be a black comedy. I don't think it was meant to be a horror movie. Now, if it was supposed to be a horror movie, it's not scary. It's almost like it was intentionally meant to be like a black comedy, because I laughed my ass off in the last act of it.
Oh my god, I don't know if that's hilarious.
I don't know if it was supposed to be funny, but I laughed so hard at the last third of that movie. It was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. So if nothing else, it entertained me.
I think they were trying to make it serious though, because the director got so mad whenever everybody saw the movie and didn't like it, and she was saying how it was trying to be like feminist agenda, but in a way where it was just so toxic. Because I like movies that have female empowerment and stuff like that, but the way that they executed it in Black Christmas, you can't take it seriously. It was so ridiculous.
I often wondered after finally seeing it, if everything she was saying is true, then she failed miserably.
Yeah,
because it almost comes off like a parody of social justice warriors. It's like, I don't know. It was an unintentional comedy.
Very much. Yeah.
If nothing else, it entertained me because it was just so dumb at the end of it that I couldn't help but laugh.
I laughed out loud in that last.
Me and my son and his friends were sitting there.
Oh man!
And literally, we were the only ones in the theater doing it. But I mean, stuff would happen, and we would just start giggling, and it was like, this is actually funny. I don't think it was meant to be funny, but this is funny.
And it's the worst kind of cheese for like I said, it's trying to be empowering, and like they say the dumbest lines that are the most obvious. Like whenever they say at the end, like one of the guys says to the girls, "We're gonna break you," and the girl says, "We won't be broken." And I lost it because it was so bad the way they said it. Like you can't take it seriously.
Yeah,
and to me, it sounded like this director hasn't like seen anything that has anything related to feminism or female empowerment, because it was so executed so weird.
If she honestly wrote that, if those two ladies wrote that thinking that was a serious take on empowering feminists, then they're idiots.
Yeah, I don't.
Because honestly, I'm watching it and I wasn't offended by it. I was entertained by it, because this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
There's no, I'm sitting there saying, and I've read the interview, so I know I'm wrong. They don't know what they're doing. I'm like, there's no way that they meant for this movie to be taken seriously. It's just, I mean, it's so tongue in cheek. It's as bad as some of the '80s movies, like when Freddie winks at the camera, and you know it was not meant to be taken seriously. And that's just the way it was. I mean, there's no way they meant that movie to be taken seriously. They had to. They're trolling us. There's no way they meant that to be a serious political statement. No way.
Do you remember the scene where the main girl is like taken to like the place where all the guys are, and that one woman who is complying with them, she's like, "You've got to know your place. You've got to know that they're in charge." Like stuff like that is just ridiculous.
Yeah, there's
like the lines like that. I'm like, man, I understand what they're doing, but it's executed so badly.
It's either intended to be funny, or they are so clueless that they don't even understand what they're writing about.
Yeah, and lines like that.
I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, hoping that they meant it to be funny.
I have a feeling they aren't, but yeah, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt too.
But I think they should have gone. I do think they should have made it a rated R movie, though.
Yeah, they should have.
Because you could have done some really cool stuff with the kills if they'd have just made it a rated R. Now I'm sounding like Derek, but
for me, PG-13 like doesn't. I mean, sometimes I want it R, but sometimes I don't have to have a PG, or I don't have to have an R sometimes in horror movies.
I mean, either.
Because like if the movie's good, I don't have to have like violence.
Well, Krampus was rated PG-13, and that didn't have to have anything added to it. That was a good movie.
Oh yeah, Krampus is awesome.
Especially if you're going for the comedy, the meta kind of stuff. They could have. Yeah, I don't mind. I don't necessarily. It doesn't necessarily have to be rated R. Was Happy Death Day PG-13 or R?
Both of them are PG-13, and they were both great. I love those ones.
And see, I don't get. People hated the second one, and I guess maybe they felt like, because that's the last year movie too, right? That came out last year.
Yeah,
I guess they felt like they got cheated because it wasn't really a slasher movie, but I didn't mind that.
Yeah,
maybe they were a little dishonest in their marketing, and that's why people, if they had just come out and said this is going to be a comedy, it's going to have fantasy elements.
Yeah,
I don't think people would have griped as much as they did, but I like both of those movies. I thought they were both fun.
Me too. But it's hard to like market that, because I'm glad that they did something different. But if they said it maybe in the trailer, people would be like, "Oh, I don't want to see this because it's not purely horror." So it sucks on both ends for them, like how to market it and how not to.
Because you don't want to give the twist in the story away either. So you kind of have to. You can't really tell people what it's about because that gives the whole story away. But
exactly.
Now I don't think the second one was as good as the first one, but I don't have any problem. I thought the second one was actually pretty funny.
I thought the second one did a good job of like making that character tree even more like of a cool character, because they did the thing where it's like she goes to another dimension, like multiverse, and like she finds her mom there alive, and it's like she's there alive instead of dead. And I like that choice that she has to make. I think that's really cool. I actually think it's got a lot of heart to it too. Like I like that those two movies have a lot of like sincerity to them and like humor. I think they're just really fun.
And I know that they're talking about doing a third one, so I don't know what they would do. No, yeah, that would be cool. I don't know what they would do for a third one. They talked about it for a while, but I think late last year they said that it's not in development, so it's currently not being pursued, but he did have an outline written for it, and he thought at some point, whether it would be a movie or a graphic novel or something like that, that the story would eventually come out, but they might not actually make another movie. Yeah, I don't think the second one made enough, or it made like not as much, I guess. So I don't know. I think they're hesitant.
which
It
stinks
made
because I like
65.
both of
It
them.
made $65 million
It did? Oh, dang. Then we're
on a
not even.
$9 million budget. It made 65 million.
Wow. Okay. I don't know where I heard that from. I thought I heard somebody say like it did bad. Maybe I'm thinking of
Well, when
another
you
movie.
consider, it 65 million on a $9 million budget. The first one had a $4.5 million budget and made 126 million.
Oh, okay. I get to see that.
So I
Then.
mean, it didn't do bad. I mean, you make a $9 million movie and make 65 million, you didn't lose money. It's not but it
Yeah.
didn't make 125 million.
Yep.
You didn't. But
That's
I
true.
thought they were both clever movies.
Yeah, they both were really fun, and I really liked them a lot. And they were more than just like slashers. They had a lot of like fun characters and stuff.
And you don't get very many clever. See, Black Christmas was trying to be clever and didn't pull it off.
Yeah. It did.
Those two movies were clever.
Yeah, and they just had a lot of soul to them. Like they were just really likable characters too.
Yeah, I forgot that one came out last year. So yeah, I enjoyed that one.
That one was really high on my list too. I forgot how high, but it was high up there on my rankings.
I'm looking at the guy that produced it, Christopher Landon. Is that Michael Landon's son?
I don't know, but he did. I think he did one of the Paranormal Activities.
It's Michael. That's Michael Landon's son.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He wrote Disturbia.
Really? Oh, I didn't realize that.
He did. He was the screenwriter for Disturbia. They're looking. He wrote Disturbia. He wrote Paranormal Activity 2, 3, and 4.
Oh, cool. He did a lot of horror.
And he wrote and directed the marked ones. He wrote and directed Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse, which I thought was a fun movie.
Yeah. Huh.
He wrote Viral, which I don't know that one.
I don't know Viral, but he's doing another untitled project.
Yeah. And then he did the 2 Happy Death Day movies.
No, yeah. I like his stuff, like the writing and the directing.
He wrote Disturbia.
That's
I did not know that. You ever seen that?
Seen which one?
Disturbia.
Oh yeah, that one's fun.
Yeah, he wrote that. Yeah, that's
Rear
kind
Window,
of the Rear Window, and yeah,
Rear Window-ish.
Shia LaBeouf, however you say his name.
Oh, you know what you need to see that came out last year? The Peanut Butter Falcon.
Oh, I really need to see that one.
That one's amazing. That's in my top 10. That one was such a surprise. It feels like a Mark Twain story.
Yeah, it's kind of Tom Sawyer.
Yeah. Yep. And it's about. Do you know what the plot is about? Like the basic plot.
He's got Down syndrome and wants to be a wrestler.
Yeah, he wants to meet his idol, and like he finds Shia LaBeouf, who's like on the run, and like they go on a trip together, and it's just a really good movie. And Dakota Johnson's in it too, and she's like his not doctor, but she's like the one in charge of him, and like she joins the movie as well, and she's really good in it. All three of them are really great in the movie. That might be the best Shia LaBeouf movie I've seen.
Yeah, it's set in North Carolina, even though it's not filmed in North Carolina.
Yeah. Oh, and Bruce Dern is in it too. I forgot.
Yeah, Bruce Dern is in it. John Bernthal, Thomas Hayden Church. It's got an incredible cast.
It does, yeah. No, that one is definitely.
I definitely need to see that one.
Definitely tell me what you think of that one, because I love that one.
That may be one I go out and buy, because everybody that has seen that movie told me that I really need to see that movie.
I bet it's probably cheap too already, like $15 or under, I bet. Because it's been out for a few good months, I believe.
Let's see, the peanut butter. Some of the ladies at church watched it a couple of weeks ago, and I couldn't. I had something going on and couldn't go do it. I'm not going to rent it. I want to buy it. I don't want to rent it.
How much is it at Walmart? I'm going to look that up.
That's what I'm looking. Peanut Butter Falcon. Actually, I'll just see how much it costs on Amazon. Can't be that expensive. Mm-mm. No, I didn't say Prime Video. That is not what I said. Dun, 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 Peanut Butter Falcon.
Oh, it's the same price
like
as Walmart.
16. I just like
16.
the name of it.
Yeah.
I love the name of it. It's a cool name. Yeah, $16 on Blu-ray.
Nice. For me, it's definitely worth buying at that price.
Yeah, I'll have to get that. I will have to get that one. Oh yeah, Darkman. I'm going John Wick. Yeah. I don't guess we really had a topic tonight. We're just like talking, so which is kind of cool to not have a set topic. We just kind of ramble.
Yeah. I've noticed with you, I can just talk about any kind of movie.
Well, that's what we end up doing anyway. We have a topic or a movie, and we end up talking about everything but the topic or the movie.
That's true. Yeah.
That's just the way my brain works.
Did I ask you earlier what you're gonna try to watch soon? Like, because I think you told me. I think.
Other than stuff on like Netflix and Prime, the next movie I intend to buy is Lighthouse, because I really, really want to see the Lighthouse.
Yeah, I bought the Lighthouse. Yep. I
have convinced myself. I picked up Hereditary on Blu-ray from Walmart for like $7.
Nice.
Desmond gave me a download code for Midsummer.
Oh, cool.
So I've watched that one a couple of times now, and every time I go, I'm gonna do a video and talk about it. I'll go back and watch it, and then after I finish watching, it's like I don't know what to say about that movie. I don't have a clue what to say about. But between The Witch and Hereditary and Midsummer, and now I need to see The Lighthouse. David Eggers and Ari Aster are probably my two favorite directors right now. Those guys are just, they've got a vision that's somewhere else, in my opinion. They're just.
Yeah. Andrew from Hazenet Devon Graham gave me a digital copy for Searching, so I'm going to see that. I haven't seen Searching yet.
So Lighthouse, I'm hoping to watch in the next couple of weeks. I'll have to wait till I get paid again next week. Not this week, next week. I really, really want to see as soon as Color Out of Space comes out, I'm going to watch that, because I'm all about crazy ass Nick Cage movies. There's just something about Nick Cage. I'll watch anything with him in it.
I'm gonna keep watching the Fly movies because I haven't seen any of those sequels, and I want to start watching the It's Alive movies because I've never seen them.
The first one's incredible.
Have you seen all three?
Years and years ago, yeah.
Okay, because I found at FYE for $8 they had all three in a 3-pack, so I bought it, and I'm excited to see them.
I'm probably gonna go back and try to finish 3 from Hell. Just to finish it, because I'll tell you one I tried to watch and I didn't get into Bliss. I didn't like that at all.
I still haven't seen Bliss. That's
I did.
Shutter. I need to watch that.
I did not like that at all.
Okay.
I didn't enjoy it. It's a low budget, independent kind of movie, and it's a lot of sex and drugs and just weird psychedelic stuff, and I could not get into it at all. I ended up cutting that off.
You know what movie I liked but didn't love was Mandy. Everybody said Mandy was incredible, and I liked things about it, but I didn't love the movie.
I really liked it. I wouldn't say I loved it. I really liked it. There's one on Shudder called The Marshes that just came out that's supposed to be really, really good. I'm looking at Shudder stuff I've got marked to watch on Shudder. I've got The Marshes marked to watch that. Where is it? I'm trying to find it. I can't find it. I'm looking. That's not it.
I need to look more on Shudder because I keep forgetting.
And they're constantly adding stuff to Shudder, which is cool. They
Yeah.
take stuff down, add stuff. Oh, what's this new movie with Elijah Wood in it?
Oh, is it like Come to Daddy or something? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I want to see that. I don't know where or how I'll see it, but I want to see that.
I heard about it, but I don't know anything about it, which I should go in blind. But yeah, I want to see it too.
I watch a lot of. I got to where I watch a lot of foreign stuff. I'm becoming a huge fan of South Korean stuff. So whenever a new South Korean movie or something pops up, I will watch that just to kind of check them out.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to see Parasite.
Here's just one I need to see. Everybody, all of a sudden, everybody's talking about is As Above, As Below. It's a found footage film.
Oh, I haven't seen that one. That one's older, right?
Yeah, Derek was talking about it, and I saw Aaron just did a review of it. Said it's his second favorite found footage film ever.
Okay.
What was it called? As Above, So Below. I think that might be on Prime. No, it's on Netflix. So I really need to see that one because everybody's saying that one's just really, really, really good.
Yeah, that one I forgot how old that one
is.
It's
about an archaeologist looking for the Philosopher's Stone.
Oh, that's funny.
And I guess it takes place in Paris in the catacombs.
Oh, that sounds cool.
And I guess it's been out 6 or 7 years now, maybe. But everybody says it's one of the best found footage films ever made. So I'm like, okay, I guess I need to watch that.
I need to review the Blair Witch movies. I haven't watched those in a while.
I love the first one for what it is. I don't think it's aged as well as others. I hated the second one when it first came out, and I went back and watched it a year or so ago and ended up liking it a lot more the second time going around.
Yeah, I liked the first two, and then the third one I didn't mind either.
And the third one's just kind of, it's almost just a remake. I mean, it's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, pretty much the same. It's just looking for the sister instead.
And it's just using modern technology with the cell phones and stuff like that instead of the
older cameras.
It wasn't that bad, but the first one's a great movie, even though I don't think it's aged well, but just because of what it did.
Yeah.
If you've never seen it, one of the hold on, let me find out where it is. You need to see The Last Broadcast. If you've never seen that.
I've never heard of that one.
It came out in 1998. So it predates the Blair Witch by it came out in 98. And even though the Blair Witch had been conceived and started production before, it's really similar. It's about a TV news crew going out. They're doing like one of these fact or fiction TV shows, and they're going to investigate the Jersey Devil, and it's a found footage movie, kind of like Blair Witch.
Okay.
And it only cost them $900 to make it.
Yeah, those can be made really cheap.
$900.
God, how much was Blair Witch, like, its budget?
Well, considering some of it was equipment that they bought and returned and got their money back. The Blair Witch, I think, cost about $60,000 in all after you figure in marketing and stuff.
Damn.
The actual make the movie, to make the movie didn't cost anywhere near that much, but the marketing that went behind it was, you talking about $60,000 and it made $250 million.
That's pretty good.
I mean, it made, I think the last thing I saw was 250 million, something like that, and it cost $60,000 to make.
That's always cool when they have like movies like that and they make
Oh, yeah.
that much money. Kind of like how the original Halloween like made so much money, and it's like cost $300,000, I think.
Yeah, and then you figure the original Friday the 13th didn't cost a whole lot of money either.
Yeah, that's true.
And those guys weren't trying. I mean, Sean Cunningham was just trying to make enough money to get more money to make another movie. That's all he was wanting to do was make one more movie.
And he said, like, we're gonna blatantly rip off Halloween. We don't. It doesn't matter if it's the same. We're gonna rip it off to make money.
$500,000 is what it cost to make Friday the 13th.
Oh, okay. So that's a little bit more than Halloween. That's good. No.
Oh yeah, it was significantly more.
Yeah.
But still, it made $60 million.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
How much was Halloween? How much did Halloween cost?
I thought it was 300,000.
Yeah, 300, and it made somewhere between 60 and 70 million. So
yeah. So it definitely made back, but it took a while to get going, though. Apparently.
And like I said, I watched it again the other night. Actually, I watched a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff.
Oh, nice.
And then I just watched it trying to get psyched up for the new one that comes out this year because I'm really excited about it.
I'm so scared somebody's going to spoil it. Like, I don't want
just ignore it. Actually, the reason I watch it is because I had watched The Fog twice, and Jamie Lee Curtis was in that. And then I watched Terror Train, and she was in that. And then people were talking about Prom Night, and she was in that. I'm like, well, hell, I might as well go back and watch Halloween again. And it still stands the test of time to me.
Have you seen Road Games?
Road Games. That sounds familiar.
It's a Richard Franklin movie with Jamie Lee Curtis and Stacy Keach. It's like she's like a hitchhiker, and like there's a killer like killing girls like while they're like together. It's from the 80s. I feel like you've seen it, or I feel like you've heard of it. I bet.
Let's see.
With Richard Franklin directed.
1981 Australian horror thriller. Richard Franklin, Stacy Keach, and Jamie Lee Curtis. Truck driver tracking down a serial killer. That sounds familiar. Oh yeah, the guy from Queen did the music. The guitar player from Queen did the music for it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I thought
that's the kind of stuff that makes me remember things. Brian May did the music for it.
Yeah, I thought it was
an embassy movie. Yeah. And it was ripping off Rear Windows, is what they said.
Yeah. Except for on the road.
Let me look up Road Games and see if that's streaming. That's one I would like to watch because if I've seen it, I haven't seen it in decades.
Yeah.
If I were to watch that tonight, it would be like watching a brand new movie I've never seen because I have not seen it in. I couldn't tell you. It's not streaming anywhere free, so. But now that I'm reading about it, it sounds all. You know what a movie I need to see?
What?
And the thing that irritates me is that the sequel is playing on streaming, but the original is not. Is Wolf Creek?
Oh, I've seen the first Wolf Creek. I haven't seen any of the sequels.
The second one is like all the streaming stuff, but I want to watch the first one, and it's not playing anywhere.
Oh,
it's not on Netflix, DVD. And it's not on Netflix or anything.
Dang. That's one of those movies that I watched and didn't really love.
It's supposedly based on a true story, is what they say, but I know how it goes.
Yeah, that's true.
They also say that House of the Hills Have Eyes is based on a true story, but it's not.
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
It's based on something that happened in Scotland in the 1800s or 1600s.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The cannibal family living out in the country eating people. That happened in Scotland in the 1600s, and that's the story that it's based on. So, yeah, it's not based on a true story.
Okay. A lot of that
Just
stuff.
just like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I mean, based on a true story. No, it's not.
It's just like related to Ed Gein ish.
Based on Ed Gein. So, who did the remake of Hills Have Eyes? Was that Alexander Aja?
Yes.
That movie was brutal. That movie was hard to watch.
Yeah, that one actually freaked me out whenever I was younger.
Yeah, I was watching the unrated version, and that movie was really, really, really hard to watch.
Mm-hmm.
The R-rated version, but I mean, originally that movie was released. It was originally rated NC-17. So they edited it down to an R for the theatrical cut, and then when it come out on DVD, they released the unrated, and I almost couldn't watch the sexual violence in it is just so over the top. I mean, it's just rough. That movie's rough.
I can't remember if I've seen the unrated. I don't think I have. I think I've just seen the regular cut.
It's rough.
You know, the second one though was horrible. I couldn't stand the second one.
I haven't seen the remake.
It's like like the part 2, like the remake.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. Well, part 2 the part 2 to the original is pretty horrible too.
That one's funny, yeah. There was like a scene where they're all like remembering memories of like what happened, and it has a dog do like a memory remembering. Like it shows like a dog and then like the bubble and like it shows him remembering stuff, and I'm like, what? Like a dog? That's really ridiculous. Yeah. I just remember it being really dumb.
And Wes Craven actually wrote the story for the second one.
Didn't he like not like it? Like he disowned it or something?
It wouldn't surprise me.
I think he like said he couldn't stand it or something, even if he did it, I think. Damn.
And that was at that time, which it don't seem like it's been that long, but it's 10, 15 years ago, where they were trying to make all these gruesome, over-the-top, violent horror movies, and they had like these really generic metal soundtracks.
Yeah,
so you had all this fast-paced, quick editing, graphic, violent stuff with like Atreyu and As I Lay Dying. It was just like it got so annoying after a while.
I laugh out loud at the end of Ghost Ship, where like the last thing happens and like it's a really metal song. Have you seen Ghost Ship?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna spoil it, but like the last thing that happens in the movie, like the metal music starts playing, and I'm like, what? Like that's ridiculous.
I'll tell you one of the biggest fails with movies is all the marketing and the trailer and the ads for Jason X when it first came out was using Bodies by Drowning Pool.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that song wasn't in the movie, I'm like, man, they should have put that song in the freaking movie.
That would have been cool because
as much as I love the movie as it is, if it had had that song in it, it'd have been 100 times better.
Yeah, and the movie is already cheesy, so I thought it would work.
And if that movie had just come out 2 years earlier, it wouldn't have been as bad.
That was such a great trailer for Jason X.
That's always going to be one of my guilty pleasures. I still think Jason X is one of my favorite movies of all time, and I know it's trash, but God, I love it.
Yeah, it's fun.
I love it. So much fun. And it's got David Cronenberg in it. Jason kills David Cronenberg. That's just pretty stinking cool.
I love that he wanted to be in the movie just to be killed. He's like, just put me in it so I can get like killed by Jason.
Just kill. Let the body explore. I'll tell you another one I want to see now. That I want to see the remake of Rabid. Since we're talking about David Cronenberg,
I haven't seen the original Rabid. I need to see more Cronenberg.
Yeah, I want to see that, and then I really need to go back and start watching all these Italian movies that I saw 30 years ago, and I need to go back and watch more Fulci and watch more Mario Bava, and rewatch all of the Argento because I've seen most of his older stuff, but I need to rewatch all those again.
I bought Mother of Tears. Have you ever seen that?
It's not very good.
Okay. Because I got
Yeah, it's
that.
okay.
So I'm
The
gonna
the
watch
last one I tried
something.
the last one I tried to watch, and it's on Shudder. Uh it was filmed in 1997, but then it kind of got shelved.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but uh, Lucio Fulci was sick and he wasn't doing really well. So Dario Argento went to him and wanted to help him make this final movie before he died, and it was going to be a remake of House of Wax.
Oh,
And then all the pre-production was going on, and Fulci died before they ever started to make the movie. So
dang.
then they got a guy named Sergio Stivoletti, who had been a special effects guy that worked with those guys, to end up directing it. And then he changed the script and made it more effects driven movie. So it ended up coming off not being very, very good. Uh, but it was Fulci. Argento was trying to make amends with Fulci because they kind of had a nasty relationship.
Oh, they
So he
did?
kind of wanted to help. He kind of wanted to help Fulci get one more movie out, and then he died before they ever finished it.
When did he die?
Fulci,
Yeah.
94, 95.
Dang. I was wondering
Yeah,
because
he
I didn't
died. He
know.
died. No, he died in 96,
Dang.
and then the movie started filming in 96 and was released in 97. And I don't know that it was ever released in America until much, much later.
What's your favorite
No, it
Fulci
says no.
movie?
It said North American. It premiered in North America at a film festival in '97, but it's not
Mhm.
like it played in theaters over here. But it premiered on Shudder not too long ago, and it's probably the time most people have ever had a chance to see it. And it's not great, but it's interesting to watch. There's some neat effects and stuff in it.
Yeah.
So it's like a mid '90s version of like a Giallo, but it's kind of. I would have loved to seen what would have happened if Fulci had actually been able to make it.
Mm-hmm.
But
What's your favorite
that
Fulci
one's on
movie?
Shudder. The Mother of Tears. I'm trying to remember because that was the trilogy that finished the trilogy, the sisters.
Yeah.
Mother of Tears came out what,
I think it's a
2000,
2007.
2000s or something.
I think it's a 2007 somewhere, I think.
Yeah, the third mother. Yeah, I'm trying to. I know I've seen it, and I'm trying to remember what I can remember about it. It must not have been as impressive as the other two because I can remember Suspiria and I can remember Inferno, and I'm having a really hard time remembering Mother of Tears, but I know I've seen it because Asia Argento's in it, isn't she?
I think so. I haven't seen it yet, but I think she's in it.
Oh, you haven't seen it either. Okay, all right.
No, I bought it, but I'm gonna watch it. Because I got it really cheap.
The problem with that one is that movie was in the works ever since the 1980s, and that's how long it took him to make it.
Oh dang, I didn't realize that.
I mean, Suspiria was 77, Inferno was 80, and then this was supposed to come out like within the next couple of years, and the script got bogged down. So in the mid 80s, he was still working on it. And in 2000, he said he wanted to start filming it, and it just took forever. It took him forever to ever get it finished. And they didn't start filming it until 2007, and the story had been floating around since 81, something like that.
Oh wow.
And whenever it takes that to get a movie made, that usually means there's something
Up with it, yeah. Well, I'm curious to see how it'll look so different than probably the older practical movies, because by the picture art alone, it looks like it's going to be a different movie.
I'm gonna have to look and see. You said you bought that one?
Yeah, I think I got it for like $4. So I was like, I'm
Well,
going to buy it.
bad. Yeah, of course it's not going to be playing anywhere that I can watch it.
Well, I got it at a vintage stock. I think you said you don't have one of those, do you?
A what?
A vintage stock?
No.
Okay. I bet it's at FYE. Pretty cheap.
That was it was released by Dimension Extreme, so I know you can find it.
Yep. It's probably got a lot of copies then if it's Dimension.
Yeah, I bet that movie is. I bet you can buy it dirt cheap because it didn't do well.
Yeah.
Yeah, $3 on eBay.
Awesome.
$3
probably
on
worth
eBay.
it.
Oh,
Probably
it's
worth
worth $3. It's worth $3. Yeah.
Sweet.
Here we go. Unrated Amazon. Let's see how much it is on Amazon. Unrated. Brand new on Amazon for $13.
A little pricey, but still.
Used. Oh, I can't buy it for that. 666. Nah.
That's bad irony.
Not me. Well, after shipping, it won't be. Yeah, you can get it for less than $10, brand new. You can buy all three of them: Suspiria, Inferno, and Mother of Tears for $44.
Is that like a DVD collection or a Blu-ray collection?
You'd just be buying them through Amazon, and they would package them together.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I get what you mean.
But if I get Suspiria, it's going to be that new version of it, the
4K.
4K transfer they released. If I buy that, it's going to be the 4K.
Whenever I get a 4K player, I'll get that because it's only the 4K in that release. Because usually they have 4K and Blu-ray, but it's just 4K.
Yeah, it's $35 for the 4K. The Blu-ray is the Blu-ray is $23. Yeah, I don't know why yet.
And I've
$35. That's a lot of money for one movie.
And I've got this version of it.
Yeah, that's the $20 version of.
Okay. Yeah, I've got that one.
Oh, now here's something. There's a double feature 4K of Us and Get Out for $30.
Oh wow, that's cool.
That might be worth it. That'd be how I finally got to see it.
Do you have Get Out already?
No.
Okay, well that's worth it if you don't have Get Out. Do you like Get Out?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
I think it's great. I really like both that and Us.
I need to watch it. I need to watch the 2018 Suspiria again too because I really like that one.
That one's on my radar to buy in the next couple months. I just haven't had the chance to. I keep forgetting to buy it.
Yeah, that was such a good movie.
I want to buy that, and I want to buy Midsummer because I really want to see it again.
What I'm waiting for with Midsummer is that they release the director's cut in America.
Yeah,
that's what I want.
I want that too. I kind of wanted to wait to not double dip too if they had like both of them together.
Yeah, I'm saying I know it's on Apple TV, but those are only for a certain amount of time. Then they get wide releases.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, I mean, you can buy the Blu-ray in Region 2, but I don't think a Region 2. I ain't got a way to play a Region 2.
I don't either.
So I'm not going to buy a Region 2 DVD if I can't play it. Did they release the 2018 Suspiria on 4K?
I don't know. I know it's on Blu-ray, but I don't know about 4K. That's so stupid that it's an Apple TV.
You can stream it in 4K. Yeah, there it is. No, that's German. They didn't release it on 4K in America? Are you kidding me?
That's really weird.
That makes no sense to me. The Witch is another one that I want to buy.
Oh, The Witch is great. I got that at Black Friday a couple of years ago for like $5.
It's only $10 right now.
Nice.
And like I said, I picked up Hereditary for $7. Midsummer. I really want the. I want the. I want the one with the. Let's see. The Lighthouse is $18 on Blu-ray. But I really want the extended edition. Although I've been told that I've watched the extended scenes because somebody put them on YouTube, and it's not like you really need them.
For which one?
But I'm just funny like that. I watched all the extended scenes that have been posted on YouTube, and I'm going, they don't make the movie any better. They don't really answer anything. I mean, so the movie's just fine without them. You don't need them. So it's like, but I still want it. I still want all the stuff in it that you can get in it if I can.
Yeah.
I might go home and watch Hereditary again tonight, although that's a dark movie.
Yeah, that one you got to be in the mood for.
Woo. I'm just looking at. Oh, here's a 4K you need to get. Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and the World's End trilogy on 4K.
Nice. I need to upgrade. I only have the DVD of Shaun of the Dead. I don't even have the other two, but I've seen them.
I've got Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead, but I've never seen The World's End. Did you see the other movie that they were in, Paul, about the alien?
Yeah, that one.
You ever seen that?
Fun.
That was funny.
Yeah, I like that one. I haven't seen that in years, though.
That's one of the ones, if you go to the bargain bin at Walmart, you can get it on DVD for like $3.74.
Yeah, that one's in there a lot. I need to go to Walmart and look at their DVD, like Blu-ray and DVD $5 ones, because yeah,
they got a bunch of $5 and $7 ones now.
Yeah, a lot of cheap ones.
Because I almost picked up Terminator 3 and Terminator Salvation because they were both $5 on Blu-ray.
Nice.
But then I was like, well, I want Genesis 2, and they only had Genesis on DVD, and it was like, I'm not going to buy that one on DVD.
Yeah, I've got them all on Blu-ray. Damn, it's been 2 hours. We've been talking for 2 hours.
It's 20 after 10. It's 20 after 10 here.
I think I'm gonna probably be done because I'm actually exhausted. I took a nap.
Yeah, I imagine. We've been talking for 2 hours, so that was cool.
Yeah, I took a nap before this because I woke up at like 4 a.m. and had to open my store. So.
Yeah, I've been up since 6, and I've been here at the church since 8 o'clock this morning.
Dang.
So I've been here for 14 hours.
That's crazy.
Well, I don't have anything to go home to. My wife is not here. It's just me and the dog.
Yeah.
So, and I knew we were planning on doing this tonight, so I'm like, I'll just stay up here and do something until it's time to stream.
Yep. Cool. Well,
it was fun. I enjoyed that.
It was fun, yeah.
Much fun. Thanks everybody out there that played along at home.
Yep. Thanks everybody for watching. All right. Well, see you later, Lee.
Later, guys.
Bye.